screamed, stumbling backward, falling onto the floor. The lamp crashed beside her and went out. The darkness swallowed the room. From the corner, she heard breathing. Slow, wet, steady breathing. Then the voice whispered again, closer this time. "Why do you keep bathing at night?" Rita curled into a ball and prayed until morning. When the sun rose and Nana entered the room, she found Rita sitting in the corner, her eyes wide and her clothes soaked with muddy water. She hadn't moved all night. Nana dropped her stick when she saw Rita. Her eyes widened as she rushed across the room. "Rita," she said, lifting the girl's chin. "What happened?" Rita didn't speak. Her lips trembled. Her eyes were locked on the mat. Nana followed her gaze and saw the strange, wet handprint on the floor. It was big, too big to belong to anyone in the house. Yemi entered behind her, panting from running back from the market. "What is it?" she asked, then stopped. Her eyes met the mark. The room smelled of river water again. "I told you," Nana whispered. "I told you to stop bathing at night." Rita finally found her voice. "There was a hand. It came out from under my mat. It grabbed me." Yemi looked down at her soaked wrapper. "Did you bathe again?" Rita nodded slowly. "I don't know why. I woke up and I was wet. I don't remember going out." Nana stood and marched to the door. "Enough," she said. "We're going to the river. Now." Rita and Yemi followed her outside. The sun was bright, but Rita's skin felt cold. As they stepped into the compound, they all stopped. There were wet footprints leading from the back of the house to the door. Big footprints. They weren't Rita's. They weren't human. Some had 5 toes. Others had 6. Some looked like they had claws. Yemi gasped. It came into the house and left again before the rooster crowed. Then Yemi stared into the trees beyond their fence. No one said a word as they followed the footprints to the edge of the compound. Then they vanished, right where the dirt path turned to grass. Nana turned to Rita, her face tight with fear. "It's watching you." Rita opened her mouth to argue, but she couldn't. Deep inside, she felt it too. Something was watching, and it wanted her. That night, Rita did not bathe. She stayed close to Nana, sitting by the fire as the old woman peeled cassava. For the first time in days, the house felt calm, but Rita couldn't relax. Every sound made her jump. The creak of the roof, the hoot of an owl, even the crackle of the fire. Her mind kept going back to the wet footprints, to the cold hand on her ankle, to the voice she thought she heard whisper her name. She didn't tell them about the whisper. She didn't want to scare them more. When it was time for bed, Nana tied a charm with red thread around Rita's wrist. "Don't take it off," she said firmly. "Even if you feel hot, even if it itches, don't remove it." Rita nodded. They locked the front door, then locked the back one too. Even the window was secured. Then everyone lay down. Yemi and Nana snored quietly on their mats. Rita kept her eyes open, staring at the ceiling. Minutes passed, then hours. The room was still, but just when Rita's eyes began to close, she heard it drip, drip. Her heart pounded. She turned her head slowly. At the corner of the room, a puddle. It wasn't there before. She sat up, eyes wide. The puddle grew bigger, spreading toward her mat. Rita covered her mouth, trying not to scream. She looked at the front door. It was still locked. The windows too, but the water was coming anyway. Suddenly, she heard it again. Drip. Then, whisper.
Rita.
The voice was soft, wet, like bubbles in a stream. The puddle stopped growing, but in the center of it, a shape formed, a hand with long, bony fingers. It pressed against the floor and began to rise. Rita grabbed her mat and scrambled back, bumping into Nana. The old woman sat up sharply. "What is it?" she asked. Rita pointed. The shape was gone. The puddle had dried, but the smell of river water remained. Nana looked at her and whispered, "You were marked the night you bathed. It doesn't matter if you stop now. It's already begun." Rita sat trembling beside Nana, her mat forgotten on the floor. The puddle was gone, but her heart was still racing. The smell of river water lingered, damp and sour, like something old and rotten. Nana lit a small oil lamp and waved it toward the corner. "Spirits like the dark," she muttered. "That's why they come at night." Yemi wakes up from her sleep. "What is going on?" she asked groggily, rubbing her eyes. She saw it again, Nana said without turning. The water came back, and this time it tried to rise. Yemi's eyes widened. "No, we locked everything. How could—" "It doesn't need doors," Nana cut in. "Not anymore. She has already welcomed it." Rita looked between them, confused. "Welcome what? I didn't do anything." Nana sat beside her and held her hand. "When you bathe at night, you invited something. Something that only comes when the moon is high and the village sleeps." "I just wanted to feel clean," Rita said quietly. "It's not about the water," Nana said. "It's about the time. The river spirits are not like us. They don't forget. And when you touched their path with bare feet and poured water over your head after sunset, they saw it as a greeting." Rita's lip quivered. "So what now? Will it stop if I don't bathe at night again?" Nana shook her head slowly. It would have stopped if you had ignored the first call, but you went again the second night. That's when it changed. Rita tried to speak, but her voice caught in her throat. Yemi grabbed her shoulder. There must be something we can do. There is, Nana said, but it is not easy. She must return to the river. Rita flinched. No, you must, Nana said. And when you do, you must not look back, no matter what you hear. The spirit will try to frighten you. It may cry like a baby or call your name in my voice, or Yemi's, but you must not answer. You must not stop. Rita's mouth felt dry. And if I do? Nana looked into her eyes. Then it won't be water you see next time. It will be blood. The lamp flickered, and all three sat in silence. The next morning the air felt heavy. Even the birds seemed quiet, as if the trees themselves were holding their breath. Rita sat on the edge of her mat, staring at the floor. Her fingers trembled as she tied the wrapper around her waist. Nana was outside, waiting. Yemi had refused to let her go alone, but Nana insisted. She must do this herself, Nana had said. Rita stepped outside, the ground cold under her feet. Nana stood by the door holding a small calabash filled with white chalk and herbs. She drew a line across Rita's forehead, then whispered something in a language Rita didn't understand. Walk slowly, Nana said. And remember, no matter what you see or hear, do not look back. The path to the river was narrow, lined with thick bushes and tall grasses. The sun had not fully risen, and shadows clung to the earth like dark stains. Each step Rita took felt heavier than the last. As she neared the riverbank, the wind picked up. Leaves rustled. The water ahead shimmered, calm and wide. Then she heard it. Her name.
Rita.
She froze. The voice was soft, gentle. It sounded just like her mother's. She bit her lip hard and kept walking. Rita, please come back, it whispered again. Closer this time. She quickened her steps. The calabash felt warm in her hands. Her heart pounded like a drum in her chest. Then came the laughter. High-pitched, strange, echoing through the trees. It wasn't human. Rita reached the edge of the river and knelt down. Her fingers trembled as she dipped the calabash into the water. It filled slowly. She whispered a prayer under her breath. Behind her, something moved. Leaves crackled. Branches snapped. Rita! The voice had changed now. It was deeper, hollow, wrong. Still, she did not turn. She poured the water on the ground and whispered, "Go back. I did not mean to call you." The wind stopped. The air turned still, and for a moment, everything was silent. Then the river bubbled, just once, and she knew it had heard her. That evening, Rita didn't eat. She sat quietly in her room, her hands wrapped tightly around the calabash. Her mother and Nana watched her with worried eyes, but they didn't say anything. They knew the spirits were not done with her. When the sun disappeared and the sky turned dark, a strange silence filled the house again. No crickets, no frogs, just the ticking of the wall clock and the sound of Rita's breathing. Nana walked into the room and placed a hand on her shoulder. "Tonight you must not go near water. No matter what happens, Rita, stay inside." Rita nodded slowly, but when midnight came, something pulled her from sleep. She opened her eyes and saw a trail of wet footprints leading from her door to the backyard. Her wrapper was soaked. The floor was wet. Her heart dropped. She looked at her feet, covered in mud. "No," she whispered. "I didn't go out. I didn't." Then she heard it. Splash from outside. Another splash. She grabbed her lantern and tiptoed to the window. The moonlight spilled over the yard, and there, by the old clay basin, stood a figure. It was her, but not exactly. This other Rita was bathing slowly, hands moving in slow circles. Her back was turned. Her skin looked gray under the moonlight. Her hair hung down, dripping with black water. The real Rita gasped. The figure turned. Same face, same eyes, but the mouth stretched too wide, and the smile too sharp. Rita dropped the lantern and screamed. She ran to Nana's room shouting, "It's here! It's me! It's not me!" Nana and Yemi rushed to her, holding her tight. They stayed up the rest of the night, praying, chanting, lighting every candle they could find. And outside in the dark, something laughed, a low, cold laugh that promised it wasn't over. Not yet. By morning, Rita's eyes were sunken, and her hands trembled as she clutched her wrapper. She hadn't slept a wink. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw that twisted version of herself, bathing under the moonlight, wearing her face but smiling like a stranger. Nana placed a pot of herbs on the fire and waved the smoke over her. "We have to cleanse this house," she said. "There's something old here, something from the water, something angry." "But I stopped," Rita whispered. "I don't bathe at night anymore. Why won't it leave me alone?" Nana looked at her sadly. "It's not about the habit anymore. It's about what you woke up in the water." Yemi clutched her daughter's hands. "We'll fix this. You're not alone." That evening, Baba Ifa was called. He came with white chalk, salt, and herbs. After walking through the compound, He stopped near the bath basin. This is where it entered, he said, staring into the water. She invited it by returning here again and again. Invited what? Rita asked, her voice barely audible. The water spirit, Baba Ifa replied. She used to live in the river, but when people stopped respecting the old ways, she wandered. She waits for girls who bathe at night, girls who ignore warnings, girls like you. Rita's knees went weak. She's attached now, Baba Ifa continued, and she won't leave until you return what you took. I didn't take anything, Rita said weakly. You did, Nana said softly. You took her silence for safety. Rita looked up, terrified. What do I do? There's one chance, Baba Ifa said. You must go back to the water at midnight, alone, and beg. Strip yourself of pride, of fear. Speak to her. Tell her you know what you did. If she accepts, she'll go. If not, he trailed off. Rita didn't need him to finish. She nodded slowly. I'll do it. That night, she dressed in white and walked barefoot into the yard. The moon was full. The wind was silent. She stood before the basin, trembling. I'm sorry, she whispered into the night. No answer. I was foolish, she cried. I didn't know. Then the water rippled. Behind her footsteps, she turned and saw herself again. Only this time, the other Rita was smiling kindly. Then it vanished and the water went still. Rita fell to her knees. It was over. Maybe. But as she stood and turned to go inside, a soft voice whispered from the basin. If you ever forget again, I'll be waiting. Do you think Rita truly broke the curse? Or did the spirit only retreat? Why do you think the spirit chose Rita and not someone else? Would you ever bathe outside at night again after hearing this story? If you enjoy the story, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and turn on the bell notification to be the first to be notified when we post a new story. Love you all.